moving on to the NXT Women's Championship match where Asuka is defending against Bayley in the same place where Bayley took the title from Sasha Banks 1 year ago. Bayley looking to be the first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion. You were saying at the beginning that big fight feel. You've got the other three horsewomen in the front row, looking to see what Bayley's got. Really getting a good look at Asuka. And the crowd once again was just it was a split crowd.
Yeah.
There was no, it wasn't pro Bayley, it wasn't pro Asuka, it was pro women's wrestling.
Absolutely. I mean, they got a This Is Wrestling chant.
Yep.
During the match. I'm pretty sure they were the only one that got a This Is Wrestling chant on the card.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic when it happens. The only time it happens is during the women's match. Because then they are doing something so right.
And that, when people can appreciate it that much, that it's a good moment. You've got some great stars in the ring. This was the only match where I felt like they did have a flub, though. Bayley was trying to go for like a power bomb.
Yeah.
And it got a little wonky, and so it wasn't the most fluid moment, but they were able to just get right back into it.
Yeah,
which is good.
This match from the beginning, though, for me, was just a super strong moment because Bayley had the extra cool little entrance. Mm-hmm. She was wearing bright silver gear. Had Izzy in Brooklyn, not in her normal corner spot, but right on the entrance aisle. Her mom was there, and having the other three horsewomen there. Kind of a big deal for her.
She had
extra two men in the at ringside for when she did her pose.
Everybody was at ringside for Bayley, including the extra four.
I think those four specifically are for the Full Sail Tube guys.
Those are the four that she always has.
They were there for moral support. I don't know, but I love the Tube men.
Yeah,
they got a thing going. Asuka had her own little extra flair.
That was very interesting. I love the way she's.
Yeah, and she had extra swagger in her.
Yeah, no, too. she was ready for this match.
But yeah, and the whole thing, it's just so good. Basically, from beginning to end, the storytelling being that Bayley was so much more ready for Asuka this go around.
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning of the match, Asuka keeps trying to go for headlocks and arm bars, and Bayley just kind of keeps shoving her off.
This was an evolution for Bayley.
Yeah.
Bayley's always been, the lovable, huggable, everyday girl, and now she's just over time proved more and more how tough she is in the ring. And going against someone like Asuka, you don't have a choice other than to be tough. Otherwise, you get run the fuck over.
Yeah. And they did really good storytelling because they had the whole idea where Bayley needed to do everything in her power to avoid the Asuka lock because that was her big downfall.
And it was her proving that, last time it wasn't. That's the one commentary line that I love is Bayley didn't give up. Her body gave up.
Yeah. And it's just the whole idea is avoid that same situation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen again. And she came up with a handful of really decent counters and, or just the tenacity of getting to the ropes in time.
I'm sure you appreciated the back roll.
The back roll one. I mean, I know that we recently saw it with the Finn and Joe feud.
Yeah. But
to see it again, still good for me because it's a throwback to one of my favorite WrestleMania match finishes ever.
Yeah.
And, the fact that it became apparent at that point to Asuka that she wasn't going to beat Bayley with the submission.
Yeah. And Bayley even at one point just pulling out a hugplex out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was a counter out. One of the counters out of the Asuka.
Yeah, as she's trying to she just turns her right around into the hugplex. Asuka kicking out of that, and it's just at this point, Becky and Sasha are freaking out.
Yeah, I would imagine Charlotte was probably doing the same thing.
They never.
But she was off.
Yeah, she wasn't quite in camera view.
She was on the same side as the hard camera, so you didn't see her reactions.
Yeah, but you saw Becky and Sasha multiple times. You know a match is good when the people that do it for a living are freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, and Bayley kind of going into taking the next step into this zone of intensity at one point, because after this she's on her knees and Asuka is repeatedly kicking her all over her torso.
This was so good.
And then she catches Asuka's foot and stands up and yells at Asuka to hit her in the face.
Yeah, no, that was such a turning point for Bayley. She was not fucking around. She was letting Asuka know that if she didn't hit her in the face, that she was not going to go down.
Yeah, and Asuka obliged though.
Yes.
Because there was a few strikes to the head, Bayley doing what she could to cover up, and then Asuka started throwing body shots, widen things up. Bayley kept trying to throw some forearms to keep up with Asuka. Eventually, Asuka hits one of her big over-the-top roundhouse kicks that doesn't quite put Bayley down, though. She gets back up, and she gets in Asuka's face and slaps her right across the face. And that really fired Asuka up, and she delivers that spinning back kick to the face that dropped Bayley to her knees, and then ends up hitting basically, the buzzsaw kick to the back of the head. And that ends up being... she couldn't get Bayley locked into the submission hold, so it had to be a knockout situation to knock Bayley out and cover her, having to roll her over completely dead weight to get the pinfall.
Yeah. A great reaction for not only Asuka's win, there was great sportsmanship afterwards where the two of them hugged. And then Bayley was given the ring, and the crowd lost their mind. Is this the end of Bayley in NXT? I personally hope not.
I also really, really hope not. And I'm leaning towards no, because yes, this was an emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is sort of the way a lot of the NXT people leave NXT, is... big match situation,
they lose,
really dramatic ending, and they end up losing.
And then they move on.
Yeah, and what I feel is that this isn't so much that case, because I feel like were it to be her last match, I think there would be a little more something done up by WWE versus, because that was the thing, is I felt like, okay, it seemed like one of those moments because you had the crowd chanting "Thank you, Bayley," which is stereotypical when the fans think someone's going to leave. That's sort of the go-to chant. But Bayley didn't spend a lot of time out in the ring,
True.
At the end point. She just kind of went to the outside, hugged the other women who, her other 4 horsewomen members, and then her mom, and then Izzy, and then just walked to the back.
Yeah.
She didn't stop. She didn't do a lot of waving. She didn't do a lot of, bowing or blowing kisses or saying goodbye or saying thank you back to the crowd. It was just, it's one of those moments where I feel like it's just to get over the fact that she's going to be disheartened after this loss.
Yeah. Yeah, and she had a post-match interview where she was talking about the match, and Ember Moon actually walked up and thanked her for making the women in NXT a thing, so she could have a chance there as well. So maybe we might run maybe a respectful couple of matches between Bayley and Ember Moon, which could be fun.
Yeah, and I feel like as far as it goes, the main roster, I don't think, is in the right place to benefit from Bayley getting called up.
I totally agree.
And NXT still has so much more to benefit from Bayley being on the roster. The only premise behind it is that, you sort of feel bad for her because she's getting passed up over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
First Sasha and Becky and Charlotte all get called up at the same time.
Yeah.
And then at the draft, she gets passed up for Nia Jax and Carmella and Alexa Bliss. But I think what it is that you need the one real strong veteran of a particular group
Yeah.
to stay there and be a mainstay.
There's still a lot of good women that need a strong base to really define them on NXT. I think Peyton Royce is one specifically who could benefit from a decent, albeit it doesn't have to be long, but a decent couple week run against Bayley. I think would be good for someone like Peyton Royce.
Yeah, and Bayley, isn't just on NXT as a wrestler. She helps a lot of booking the women's matches that don't involve her. They've showed it. They got into it a little bit at when she was first starting doing it on Breaking Ground, and that's kind of one of her things is they have her on there, really helping out the agents book the women's matches on NXT.
Yeah, she works fairly close with Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah, and a lot of the other booking agents that they have on the tours, like Adam Pearce and so on. So I think, in the way that per se maybe the way Neville was or the way Sami Zayn was, it's not going to be a big flash in the pan. Off goes Bayley. She's going to be one of those people that does stick around for a long time.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, because with the huge influx of new girls in there, Daria, Mandy Rose, Nikki Glenncross.
Yeah.
They still have Sarah Lee. They have this girl named Binky that they're bringing up.
Santana Garrett should be coming in making a thing pretty soon.
Alia.
Yeah.
With all these girls, Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Not as established. It's almost as if they would have a good role model on the roster. That was the other one. Tyler Breeze.
Oh right.
Was that way. Yeah,
he was there for
the guys. He was there from the early days of NXT as Mike Dalton or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good role to have her there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and finish this off with the NXT Championship match.
Before we go too much forward, I'm pretty sure I know who Sanity is, or what the vignette is for.
Oh.
Sawyer Fulton and Alexander Wolf.
Really?
Yes. I just looked up on the message board, and there's pictures of them surfacing on house shows with very post-apocalyptic Mad Max-esque attire.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
That would seem to fit the riotous sort of craziness look.
Let's do it. NXT Championship match. Samoa Joe, not too keen about this match, but decided he was going to do everything in his power to hurt Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura not really giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Because that's just the Shinsuke Nakamura way. Right off the bat, Shinsuke coming out with the extra violin from Lee England Jr., who just added the little intro that he did, and then actually playing the violin along with the music.
Yeah.
Hyped the crowd to a whole new level for Nakamura. Because as soon as they saw what that guy was doing, they're like, fuck yeah, this is what we wanted to see. This is cool. And Nakamura just, he was in the zone. He was ready for this match.
And that's the thing with Nakamura, has been on this kind of a stage before.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of the times when we talk about when somebody comes up to NXT, and they get to a point where they're performing at a place like the Barclays Center, or any of the other non-Full Sail arenas where you do get 15,000 people. They had nearly 15,000 people there.
Yeah.
That Nakamura's not unfamiliar with that
No,
size venue.
He's wrestled the Tokyo Dome.
You know, and the Tokyo Dome's not a huge arena per se, but it's, you know, it's on the level with way higher than a lot of the guys who are just used to wrestling, you know, local shows at, you know, places like, you know, American Legion halls or convention centers or places like that.
Absolutely. So I'm sure the 15,000 wasn't anything that he hadn't dealt with before, but I think the reaction of an NXT crowd is always something to really kind of, you know, it's unexpected sometimes because they are just so passionate about the product itself. And then Samoa Joe comes out and he is just in no fucks given mode. He is ready.
Yeah, they almost start scrapping before the introductions.
Joe immediately goes after Nakamura, and then Nakamura throws a boot towards him, and they start. They wanted to get it on before the formal introductions had happened.
And their match was good.
It was.
They started off with a lot of just like grappling on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of one-upsmanship. Shinsuke trying to go for multiple covers, even though, you know, the match has just started, you know, and I think in a way trying to get into Joe's head.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even trying to get into Joe's head so much as showing how he realizes that he needs to try and end the match as early as possible. He can't let Joe get the advantage, because when Joe gets on a roll, it's really hard to stop him.
Well, and Joe was literally on the opposite side of that spectrum. Is when he got the advantage, he didn't care about pinfalls.
Yeah.
He was strictly there to do exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to destroy Shinsuke Nakamura. And he was so methodical with a lot. Like, the one spot that stuck in my head is, I think he had him in like the elevated Boston Crab first, and then dropped down into the STF, and then just went right into the crossface. Like,
yeah, and
he was
that's a typical Joe combo.
He was like just the pace that he took to get, like, it wasn't like I'm gonna do this and then this. It was, here I am, now I'm here, I have complete control of you.
Yeah, and it's a combo that Joe's been using for a long time. He doesn't bust it out on NXT very frequently.
Yeah, I've seen the elevated crab into the STF, but never into the crossface.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments because the idea of transitioning from the STF to the crossface, all you're doing is moving your legs.
Yeah.
It's a way because Nakamura was reaching for the ropes, so he used it as a way to trap Nakamura's arm, so he couldn't reach for the ropes.
Yeah, it was a good moment, and
and then all comes out of the power bomb because he does the power bomb.
Because then when they kick out, he's able to turn right into the elevated Boston.
Yeah.
Joe did exactly what he wanted to do. He kept it at his pace, but Nakamura he not only does he have, you know, hammers for knees, but he has such a distance and just such an ability to move past what's been going on through the match to sway it in his favor.
Yeah, I want to say, like, the only little imperfection on this match, in my opinion, were a lot of people's opinions, because there was a little bit of a crowd reaction when it happened, is when Nakamura ran at Joe in the corner and they went for the ST Joe spot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like Nakamura might have been coming in a little too fast.
Yeah.
Because when Joe tried to pick him up, or maybe they were just too sweaty or something.
Yeah,
when he went to pick him up, Nakamura started sliding sort of around him, and so when he threw him down, he wasn't like up off the ground very high.
To me, it looked like Nakamura was trying to sell a clothesline instead of getting picked up for the ST Joe. That was about the only low point of the match.
Yeah.
The rest of it was pretty spot on.
Yeah, and Joe was getting zero luck with the Coquina clutch.
Yeah. No, Nakamura was not letting that happen.
Nakamura would break out of it, or Nakamura would use the fact that he's fairly tall for a Japanese guy and grab the ropes with his feet.
Yeah.
So classic Joe going for the muscle buster. I love we get the shot of he went for it and he hits the muscle buster and he goes to pin Nakamura. Nakamura kicks out, and when Nakamura kicks out, Joe just gets up to his knees really quick and goes and falls back down.
Like what the fuck? What the fuck do I do now?
But then it didn't deter him very long, because then he immediately within a minute or so goes for the muscle buster again off the other side.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No.
Shinsuke wiggles off. The muscle buster move being a balancing act. Shinsuke being able to wiggle himself off of Samoa Joe's shoulders knocked Samoa Joe on his ass, just enough for Shinsuke to hit a Shining Wizard style kick.
Yeah.
For a 2 count.
Yes.
But then we got the super familiar knee strike off the second rope from behind, and the Kinshasa directly to the goddamn mug of Samoa Joe, to the point where I'm pretty sure there was some sort of legitimate injury from this.
No, there were reports that off camera the referee threw up the X sign.
Not even off camera.
No?
I saw it happen.
Oh, okay. So I didn't see it until I was reading it online.
Yeah, it happened while the whole celebration with Shinsuke was going on. But yeah, Shinsuke picks up the win with Kinshasa. Looked like Joe was dead at first, because he wasn't even selling the move. He was just done.
Right, we could have knocked him out. He could have been concussion.
It's potentially the case, because then after Shinsuke starts celebrating, like Joe didn't even move for a minute. So Shinsuke's actually sort of to the left side of the screen holding up the belt. Joe ends up rolling out of the ring, and the referee follows him, and Joe's on his hands and knees, and he's almost got his fingers in his mouth, like he's trying to hold teeth in, or if he's trying to assess the damage himself.
Maybe knocked his jaw or something.
And then that's when the referee was on one knee when he threw up the X, so it wasn't super visible. It was at the bottom of the screen. And then you have a moment while Shinsuke is celebrating that they cut back over to the entranceway, and Joe is walking up, and he's got 2 referees and one of the trainers with him.
Wow.
He's not being helped out, but he has 3 different people all kind of talking to him and checking on him as he's walking up, sort of disappointed, still holding the side of his face.
Wow. We don't say Nakamura has hammers for knees to be funny. It's legit. He can knock the shit out of you with those knees. Hopefully Samoa Joe's not too injured. Hopefully everything's at least repairable and isn't anything that'll hinder him permanently. But congratulations to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah,
and now
the surprise of the night.
Now the top 2 titles are held by Japanese stars.
Not only that, but neither of them have been defeated on the NXT roster.
They're both undefeated.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Damn. Okay, well, now, who's gonna knock Asuka and Nakamura off of their freaking pedestals?
Who's gonna knock Nakamura down?
Nakamura. NXT killing it again. I'm not even excited for SummerSlam because TakeOver was just too damn good.
And the fact it was 2 hours. It was 2 hours of really good wrestling.
2.5 actually.
2.5, whatever it was.
Because Joe and Nakamura, their video package started at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, which I'm okay with. I feel like at this point in their tenure, takeovers can go to 3 hours, and I think NXT should move to hour and a half or 2 hour show.
2 hour show.
Because at this point, their roster is so deep with talent. I feel like they need a little bit more time to show some people off.
Maybe. Will 6 hours of SummerSlam be worth it? I don't know. I'm about to go watch it.
It's gonna be hard to sit through, I think.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
The wrestling's got to be really good in order for it to just hold up.
Yeah. So, will 6 hours be enough to top the 2 hours of NXT? We don't know. But that is it for our NXT review. It's very long.
Yeah, don't forget to like and comment, subscribe.
Click on the links down in the description so you get updates to videos and all types of other stuff. Check out our normal reviews podcast style with the SoundCloud link. For those of you that want to check out the videos, you get extra stuff when you watch the videos. You get our CWC review. You get our pay-per-view reviews. You get top fives. You get prediction videos. You get a lot of extra stuff, video style, not podcast. And if you're looking for extra videos, check out our Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's reasonable with a W.
Down in the description, it's our YouTuber side with debate videos and rant videos and drinking videos. Unboxing videos. All the usual stuff that you see on YouTube. If there's something you want to see us do, get a hold of us somehow through social media. Comment on a video. Let us know what you want to see. And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.